I wanna see the light.
Who won the third game did. He redeemed himself from the fall damage in game 2, wins the game 3, puts himself in second place.
Well, game 3 is done and dusted. It's time for round number 4. Gentlemen, it's over to you. Take it away.
Loading in round 4, dropping on with Skite, who we know is one of the top European players, and he's been doing pretty well for this tournament so far. Lofar, is there anybody that you think we haven't featured or that you want to see more from in this game as we reach that halfway-ish point of the tournament?
I would say Aspect, but he's not doing well so far, man. Him and Animal are doing well in scrims, always like doing well in tournaments and so far. But in solos, man, he's dead last right now. So I hope he will pick it up and get some early game kills and, you know, just get a starting position. But here at Happy Helmet, we have a lot of people.
Yeah, a lot of people. There's aim hero there from Korea. Now this is Vilex and Fa. Trying to trade over this house. You mentioned Aspect. I'm always keeping my eyes to see if he comes up in the action feed because he lost every single one of his first fights in the first 3 games. And that kind of thing is not what we were expecting. We weren't really expecting Aspect to be on such a back foot in the tournament early on. Slow pace start for Vilex and Fa.
You will be also able to say who has a good mindset later in the stages. But let's focus on this fight. It's starting a little bit slow. No one has any mats. Probably also very low on equipment. Maybe no shotguns as well.
Dual pistols now for Vilex as he's trying to get through that floor. Dropping into the trap. It's gonna get him. Far ends up falling. Vilex picks up the elimination.
That puts him in a fantastic spot so you can rotate earlier, because if you gain 150 matches while getting a kill, but let's focus on the Stompy and who is that?
Another trap goes down. I didn't quite see. It may very well have been Keolis, who's trying to just get his way through that trap. We're back over into the polar area as Stompy and Keolis. This is the wide angle on the fight. We were just seeing, wow, Keolis just takes him out with that one shot, one elimination off that heavy shotgun.
Play. Everyone is so aggressive in the early game. I love it.
I love it too. This is great for the early game. I love that we get a little bit of pace here as Issa trying to find Bowman. Bowman drops down, tries to clip it, swaps out to the pistol, doesn't get it, but look at the damage traded back as Issa picks up Bowman. A really important elimination again. He'll have seen the edit play come through now, trying to just clip through, does get it.
He got the white damage. He knows he has no shields at all.
Drops in. What a beautiful elimination from Kinzel. Drops over the high ground, able to pick him up. We're now on with X2 Jordan all the way from Oceania, all the way looking for his first elimination of the game. Good replace on that roof. At least to deny from that 4 health, stays alive. This fight has turned. He has got to find this next shot. Desperately trying to peek. Pistols are out, but there was a trap in there. And X2 Jordan gets baited.
How did he not see that trap? Maybe he didn't remember it. Maybe that's the, you know, the nerves are talking like, you're on a LAN. It's a big tournament.
What? Kinzel just falls to Ares. Ares just comes in and says, okay, you won the last fight, but Ares just picks up this elimination, no sweat.
I hope he will do well better.
So this zone covers a lot of the points of interest that were added in Season 8. We've got the Volcano, we got Lazy Lagoon, but we are jumping up to a fight between Eco and Tixi. There is a third player here as well. That Stink Grenade is going to pick up the elimination for Fwexy. He was the one that was waiting around the side, and now Tixi going to just drop out the back. Yeah, Poach and Madsen. Right now, as the zone is closing in, they do have a decent way to go. So this basically is a fight to see who lives to see the next storm. Poach trying to find his way outside that edit. Poach just takes so much damage off that first shot. Dire situation, and he is finished off by Madsen, as Madsen will put Poach out of round 4. He edits and actually didn't get punished too hard now, as only 30 health dropped from him. DMO says, okay, maybe I don't need to take this.
You know, remember, he was below the threshold. This is why he got so aggressive.
Exactly, like looking for any damage he could, but as the players have dropped as well, so has that Storm Surge, and a lot of people now in DMO's territory. We got BloodX, one of the big European players, Bizzle here, who we saw win a game earlier today. Massive name that we're expecting a lot from, and he has already performed quite well. DMO just ended up falling to Fwexy.
You know, just assaulted from the top. You can just still use it as a very good cover, but he was going back mid-throw. 54 HP, but he got a good shot.
Oh, Mitro says, sit down, Jesse. Heavy sniper through the wall. Picks him off with that shotgun.
Well, that's where you see Heavy Sniper coming in as a... After the nerve of the Deagle, Heavy Snipers are going back into the metagame if you just want to go through those builds. And it just destroys anything. Apart from the containers, actually. Because it deals 1k damage.
Good enough to just go through that brick wall, though,
Yeah.
and just follow up with that shotgun. And here we can see the players still alive in this game, as Kesa is the player we jump to.
Oh, Nero just eliminated himself. He jumped from 60 meters. There's a cannon. There's
Here
a
we
cannon.
go.
Remember, you can't move. He's not doing well so far in this edition, but maybe he will pick up the pace. But now, you were speaking about the volcanic vents. I think it's a great addition to the game because they add objectives. Something that we didn't have before.
Airwax, my pick for this tournament, getting taken out early. That's an early elimination comes through, and that vent Bizzle ended up kind of sitting comfortably. Let's see whether the zone moves in his favor as well.
Vivid, there's eliminated Cloud.
Vivid, one of the players that really started showing up last year.
Isa, did you see his equipment? 1 rift, 2 launch pads, and now Zayd, 1 rift, 1 launch pad.
And on top of it, the Sting Grenade as well is going to help. A lot of people underestimate them, but in competitive games, when people are all in these enclosed spaces very commonly, you can get so much damage, and it's a zoning tool. It forces people to move out of where they're hiding, so don't sleep on them in competitive.
One of my favorite tools in the game, since they provide you defense and offense at the same time.
Clinging down onto Keolis. Talk about offense. Nate's going to take this fight. Doesn't have the health for himself, but when you're in a shotgun duel, it's basically one shot will end up securing it. Nate.
Oh, is he going for it? He's
trying to look
going
for
for the
the edit.
peekaboo.
Desperately trying to just get through. He dodged
There's
that
a
shot.
trap set up for him. Oh, he got outplayed so hard.
Your points are going to be a whole lot lower than you were hoping for if you were looking for a safe rotation.
Ooh, you were talking about knocking people down, but this rocket was meant to be lethal.
Norwood trying to pick up another elimination for himself on Madsen, but Madsen is able to secure himself.
The single roofs over him.
And while that is risky, one of the things it gives him is just later and later game material usage. He can stay relevant when you get to the last zones. We'll see whether he gets punished though, but it's one of those player traits that we expect to see players start playing around when they know who they're going up against.
I think that's a viable meta choice. When you know people typically don't have rocket launchers, but we could have seen his being actually dropped down by a rocket launcher.
Getting clipped from behind. He's out of RPGs at this point. Had those 2 eliminations to his name, and now people start to go up the side of the hill here. As Yakos up on the high ground in a 1x1 built to the skies.
Oh, he just used so much material, so many materials right now, but he's still sitting at 88.
88 builds as Zayd now trying to get pressured by Yakos. This is so dangerous because there's so much ground behind him. Yakos trying to desperately build down, does manage to get himself to safety.
He's sitting at over 100 HP, but all those stink grenades.
Vivid is down, so is Tixi. In the action feed, we can see people are starting to fall. 19 players remain. Traps, you can hear them. It's the fear being put into those that remain. And Bizzle is on the hunt. There's players left, right, and center just trading shots, trading traps, everything.
Fortunately for the players, all of this is in the natural ground. Oh, but he's being popped by the floor over him.
Bizzle nearly finds an angle on it, trying to get out of it, and it's Yakos that takes down Bizzle. The Polish champion just took out Bizzle from this game, who had won earlier today. And no more victory royales, at least not for round 4 for Bizzle from this one. Big, big pickup from Yakos.
This zone is going back into all those builds. If you are being stuck if someone else's builds, it is pretty tough.
We talked before this round about 72 hours. He's still in this game, but barely, because look at the damage he just took on that trade. He was so healthy. I was about to talk about how well he was doing, and Vinny shuts me up in my track. He's so low health now, 72 hours to stay in this late game.
Now take a look at the Issa. He has the ultimate high ground. Great equipment as well. To just take advantage, 2 launch pads.
The only problem is low on material, so he has the mobility, but if he's forced to build down, that's one of those areas you can't afford to be dropping down with that glider. But Vinny, he didn't take out 72 hours, but 72 hours died to the storm. What a game Yakos has had so far as well.
For elimination so far on his account, only 2 builds available. He wants to use them as cover for the shotgun pops.
But he doesn't own most of this is the problem. He's not the one, he can't edit down through this, but it is looking like the storm is going backwards. That's some of his building behind him.
And Hero and History just on the bottom. It's going to be a tough fight for them.
Versus Brazil. International fight down on the low ground. And Yakos, he's looking, trying to peek. He's like, please, somebody just give me an elimination so I can get some materials. Back trap. He's just going to try and make this as dangerous as possible. He got it. he actually picked him up.
Oh no! Oh
At
yes!
the launchpad, Yakos, he drops in. I was thinking the same thing. I was like, Yakos, this is such a masterful late game for him for now. It's 3 players remain. Yakos, it's Poland, Brazil, South Korea remain here. The trap is going down. Yakos looks for that trade. Damage as he falls, but into the storm he goes. Yakos, if he can pick up an elimination, that would be it. And Aim Hero is the one down there as Yakos gets trapped in the zone. Yakos is eliminated from this. It's a 1 versus 1. History is taking on Aim Hero as Aim Hero was the one that picked up the elimination from that. Aim Hero does it for South Korea, picks up a 4th elimination and the victory royale.
Players having fantastic performances in the top 10, but it's kind of some players who were in that 10 to 20, they're having those big games and they're pushing some of those players that were in that top 10 out of contention now.
Yeah, they're catching up real fast. As we mentioned earlier, 72 hours. He's been slow and steady, playing the turtle game, just slowly munching his way through his competitors and grinding up.
Seen history, though. They're in the top 10. Viva Brazil, going to see some action from them. We talked about them being the top players from their region, and they're starting to show here, especially if they could come out with like a top 10 finish in solo, top 10 finish maybe tomorrow on in duo. They're looking very good to show the strength that the region does have.
Yeah, certainly going to be some Vamoses in the chat if we see some big performances from the Brazilian guys. You can see all the way down.